AITA for breaking up with my girlfriend who is struggling in her new city.
I met my now ex-girlfriend at the beginning of our first year at med school. We attend a university
In a relatively rural and isolated area. At first, things were pretty good, but during the first year, she kept saying how I was the only thing that made her happy in her new life in this town. I'd made many friends, and I was happy, but she was often excluded by our classmates and hadn't clicked with a single person. She didn't have any friends. I encouraged her to reach out to my female friends, but they didn't like her, and she complained to me about them all the time. As the year went on, most of our dinners would end with her crying about how she didn't have any friends and that she felt excluded. The first dozen or so times she would cry about this, I tried to be very supportive, but after a while, it got exhausting, and I started to hate that every dinner we had ended with her crying about her lack of social life, especially since she would often insult my friends. This was tough too because I loved our med school community. I told her it was tough always supporting her because I was dealing with the recent death of a family member, which was difficult. At the end of the year, I couldn't handle it, so I broke up with her. I was still overcoming my family issues, and I couldn't feel bad for her about not having friends when I was grieving. She told me that breaking up with her would ruin her life and that she would be depressed without me. I felt so guilty since I know our relationship was one of the few things she enjoys at med school, and now she doesn't have any friends or family in the area. But now I feel really happy, which is great, but I feel bad for her since she's miserable. AITA for breaking up with her as she goes through this time since it made me happy. Should I have waited until she made a friend?
You cannot expect someone else to make you happy. Someone can be a complementary to your life, but you have to take ownership of that shit. A relationship is not 50-50. A relationship is two people giving 100%.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry she's having a tough time. She's probably also going through some mental health issues. There's probably some depression and anxiety that is preventing her from making those steps. But as somebody that went through that exact situation, I feel like in a lot of ways, I'm very similar to the ex-girlfriend. When I first moved to LA, I had a difficult time making friends, but it was not my boyfriend's job to make me complete or to find me friends or to be my only crutch. He was, again, meant to supplement my life and be a partner and make it better, but not be the only existence.
Kevin Hendricks writes, blaming whatever happens next on you as a threat for breaking up with her is classic abusive behavior. But I don't think there's a greater pattern of abuse that would make her an asshole in this one.
I think when we are going through breakups or going through loss, then we're incredibly vulnerable. And I think most people have been in that place where you just want somebody so badly that you're just going to say whatever. And then you look back 6 months later and you're like, shit, that was not cool. But I think it's forgivable. I don't think it's abusive. I think manipulative, yes, but I think it's forgivable.
Sarah Hoek writes, NTA, you shouldn't stay with someone for the sole reason that they have nothing else, no one else. That would go on forever, and both of you would be miserable. I think that's a really strong argument, and I think the fact that one of the issues about breaking up is that when you know it's time to break up and you're out, like, it's healthy for both people that you then break up, right? Like, there's really no point in letting a dead relationship live.
Absolutely. This is the best thing for both of them in the long run.
Him not being a crutch will allow her to truly thrive in this new environment.
I wrote a comment on the Facebook group. I said, I'm not sure I trust Submitter here. Maybe his GF is a huge clingy POS, but I kind of feel like something else is going on. Why is she excluded by everyone? Why aren't her and Submitter friends with people together? Is he isolating her? I felt like the story was a little bit myopic. It kind of, I get a little hesitant when OP looks like a saint, but some people came back at me. Ashton Weinberger writes, take into consideration that they're both in med school, so I doubt they have a ton of free social time to begin with. That makes it more believable to me that on the rare occasion they get to relax with her friends, that she acts like a Debbie Downer. Katie Black writes, I had a friend who dated a girl just like this, and it didn't end well. So these girls are out there.
Yeah.
And guys. And people, and gender non-binary, okay? These people are out there.
Nobody is just broken and can't make friends and stuff like that. I think that this woman is most likely suffering from mental health issues, whether it's like clinical depression and especially at this age, if they're in med school, that means that they probably just graduated college, 22, 23, which is for most people, I know certainly for me, is when my mental health issues started rearing their head the most. And I think it's a new experience that this woman is going through, and she probably doesn't have the tools to handle it. Nobody is just clingy. There's deeper trauma and deeper issues that are at work here.
I honestly really wish I could find this ex-girlfriend and just like have a coffee with her and be like, it does get better. Like, you have to work on things. Like, I do have thriving friends and a social life now and a stable relationship. But in 2011, I was this woman. I was a goddamn mess. And it got better, but I had to work on myself before I could invite in a whole new environment.
I love that. And I think we all agree that this guy is, I think this is a no assholes here. She's not the asshole either.
No assholes here. NAH.